Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What is the worst thing about being skinny? Cold. Always cold. Slowly sinks into the Atlantic Ocean. Forever cold, and no one understands how you could be cold but you're cold. To me it had less to do with my weight and more to do with me generally not eating too much food. And so almost every time between meals I got cold. But then warm again after eating. People informing you that you're skinny like you didn't already know. Skinny people handshake fat people, people telling you your weight like you don't already know. I'm best friends with an underweight person and I'm overweight. Can attest that this is a big reason we are friends, because we can relate on such opposite ends of the scale. Not being able to sit on hard surfaces for any length of time. Typing this while sitting on a park bench. The pain is real. Read this while sitting in a cushioned seat. Is this heaven? People telling me that I look hungry. You look full. Damn, I'ma use this just the right amount of petty. It's easier to be tossed around in a fight. Yeah. And then people ask you why you don't want to play football or other tackling or pushing related sports. I'm 5 feet 8, 55 kilograms and used to play rugby with lads at least 6 inches taller and 30 kilograms heavier than me, and I'd get flung about like toddlers with a stuffed toy. I remember after I lost 115 pounds, I went to break up a fight thinking it would be the same as before. I grabbed one person and leaned back. Normally that would be enough to anchor them down. But this time I got yanked and pulled to the floor like a rag doll. For reference, I used to be a bouncer for 5 years and broke up fights all the time. Never realized the extra fat gave me so much of an advantage till I didn't have it anymore. True, extra fat also helpful as leverage when you're lifting cement bags all day. Going to an amusement park and realizing that no one else thinks the seats on the rides are too hard. I was in pain. Gonna add on. Feeling like you're gonna slip out, lol. When I was younger, there was a time I was tall enough to go on the pirate ship ride. You know, the one that swings around in a circle. But so skinny. It was the kind where there was just one bar for every row of people, rather than individual restraints. What this meant is that since everybody in my row was significantly bigger than me, I had inches of gap between myself and the bar. Like, the bar was pushing everyone else down, or at least touching their stomach. But I wasn't restrained by it in any way. When we started hanging upside down, I was literally holding onto that bar for dear life, trying to stay in place by pushing my feet hard against the seat in front and my back against the seat back. If I hadn't been physically able enough to do that, I 100% would have fallen out. It was terrifying, and I have never been back on a pirate ship ride in the decades since. Edit to clarify for folks asking how there could be a pirate ship that went upside down with just a lap bar. It's not that it went completely upside down like your feet were in the air, but more like you were facing straight down at the top, since we were in the end rows and not close to the middle. For me, that meant I was falling forward and would have basically been lying down with my belly on the bar. But somehow I was sliding forward toward my head, so I was coming out from under the bar. Or would have been if I weren't pushing with my hands on the bar and my feet on the back of the next seat to keep my back against the seat back. It certainly felt like I was going to take a dive. Maybe it would have just ended with me getting slammed into the bar or the seat as the ride went back down. I don't know. But that doesn't seem particularly safe either. Sometimes even just sitting hurts because there's not enough fat to cushion the bones and they press directly on the nerves. I sit pretty crooked for this reason. Almost more on my back than ass. Because it's way more comfortable for my ass. I tend to lean way forward to put weight on my thighs. This. Also, people get upset if you sit on their comfy, cushy laps cause your butt bones dig into them. My family used to complain I sharpened my butt bones when they weren't looking. It's so easy to hit your pelvic bone on the side into things, and it hurts so much. I'm having phantom hip bone pain just reading this. You cannot do a very splashy cannonball into the pool. I'm not very buoyant, despite all the muscle I've put on over my couple years of weightlifting. I would die if I got shipwrecked out at sea. Without the fat I used to have, I quite simply do not float anymore. Clothes never fit well. Whenever the length is good, the width is too much. Whenever the width is good, it's too short. Especially bad if you're also tall. Skinny long leg gang, stand up, cause the chair is hurting my ass. As someone who was underweight in my childhood up to my early 20s, and suddenly obese in my 30s, it doesn't matter what weight you are. People will always have something to say about it. But one thing I hated about being skinny was always being the one to have to sit in the middle seat in the car. I've been 100 pounds and 200 pounds. This is accurate. Someone always has some shit to say. I've been 100 pounds and 200 pounds. This is accurate. Someone always has some shit to say. And that someone is 9 times out of 10 my own mother. People can body shame you and you're supposed to take it as a compliment. I was once called the walking Holocaust. Holy fuck. That's terrible. I got a "I loved you" in The Machinist once. Got told by a friend that only a pedo would want to date me because I look like a child. Real men like women with some meat on their bones, real women have curves, only dogs like bones, etc. I wasn't allowed to be upset because she was jealous and insecure. I had to be the bigger person and forgive her without an apology, and while she was actively still doing it. This wasn't a one-time thing, it was every time she saw me. People that fit in size. My size. Jeans are disgusting. After I said, "Hey, that's my size. Oh god, I fucking hate you." Friendship didn't last, but not before it got in my head and fucked me up for years. No one ever stood up for me, so I translated that as agreeing with the statements. I was paranoid that any guy interested in me was a pedo or a fetishist. Past all that now. But damn, we should really stop acting like skinny people can't be body shamed or get fucked up from the bullying, or that somehow being compared to the dead, dying, or literal children is in any way a compliment. They just mean you're skinny, and being skinny is socially desirable, so it's a compliment. Damn, if you think looking sickly or like a child is socially desirable, then I feel like I should call some people about you, LMAO. I feel this comment so much. Especially that we aren't allowed to be upset about it because being skinny is a beauty standard. I've had a coworker similar to what you're describing. Every day at lunch she'd make some kind of comment about my choice of food. Eating a salad? I'm doing it to stay skinny. Eating pizza? I'm obviously going to throw it up later to stay thin. She would comment on my weight all the time. And other co-workers would ignore it or tell me to get over it and stay professional. She started to get worse and worse with her comments. Telling my stuff like my boyfriend must be gay. Because if he's dating me he can't be into women, etc., etc. I ended up putting in a complaint with HR because it started to really affect me and my work to deal with this every day. Of course I was the bad guy at the end, because she was just feeling insecure and lashing out. Bosses, coworkers, friends, sometimes girlfriends, family, customer service workers, teachers, every one of these people have felt it was fine to comment on my body, how skinny I am. The random stranger sitting next to me in bus told me I need to eat more, I'm a way too skinny. Smiley face. But hey, it's not body shaming if it's about thin people. Right?